Okay. So so we got our ratio. Did you guys see any of this?
Yes, we saw it.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I have no idea what happened. It just went out. The router went out. It's a it's an Ethernet line, so it's not a Wi-Fi. Okay, so I think I was doing the calculation. That's what I was doing. So 100,000 times 15 divided by 25, 60,000. Okay, so 60,000 of the fixed cost is going to go to the standard. Now, truthfully, if there's only 100,000 and 60,000 goes to the standard, you can actually just do the math and subtract out 60 and know that 40,000 goes to the deluxe. But I'm going to go ahead and do the calculations for it. So the deluxe would get 40,000 of it. And again, if you get one of them, you're pretty much on your way. Right? I mean, if you get one of them, you have 100,000, 60 is going to standard, then you know how much is going to go to deluxe. But the ratio thing still works out. And this would be so the deluxe would get that. So this is what we would do is up here, the standard will get 60 and the deluxe will get 40. Now we can do our break evens. And I think I'm going to copy this down below so that we just have a little closer to the action. Okay, so now we can do the break even for each one of these. So we'll do the standard first. Standard is 25x. And I'm going to put a little note here. That x equals units. Okay, so 25. So again, we don't know how many units. We know that each one we're selling for 25. Minus the variable cost is 20x. Minus, and the fixed cost for standard is 60,000. Oops. At break even, our income is 0. All right, so we're going to solve that for x. Minus 60,000, so we're going to plus 60,000 each side. 25x minus 20x is 5x. Okay, so 5x equals 60,000. We get those a little closer. All right, so solving that is divide each side by 5. And end up with x equals 12,000. Okay, so break even in units is 12,000 units. And for the break even in dollars, I'm just gonna put it over here on the side. We're selling those for $25 each. So 12,000 times $25. 300,000. Okay, so that is standard break even. Now I got to do the same thing for the deluxe. And I might run out of room here. To a little more space. Be lazy. The deluxe, the selling price is 48. And 38. This is 10. And the fixed costs were 40,000. All right, so here's the important one. These important numbers here are these fixed costs. These are what we split up. These were the ones that are the problem. The rest of this is not, I mean, you've already done this, what, 5 or 6 times? Okay, so So for deluxe, we have 4,000 units were the break even, and we're selling those for $48 each. $192,000. Okay, so yeah. So the important thing is splitting up these fixed costs, and this is really the problem of this one. And the rest of this is easy. Once you get the fixed cost, I mean, we've already done this. I don't know, at least what's nine? No, eight. I don't know, a number of times. And now we've done it two more. So, yeah. By the way, if you're looking at the units, you could actually figure out the deluxe units without going through all this. If we look at the units sold, we could actually skip this whole second part. What do we know about the units sold? Three standard units are used for every one unit sold. So if we get 12,000 units for the standard, and we didn't feel like doing that, what could we do to get the 4,000? You can put it in chat if you want.
Divided by 3?
Yep. Yeah, if you're selling 3 to 1, okay, so if you have 12,000 standard and you know that you're selling 3 of these for every one deluxe, just divide by 3 and you can get this 4,000 units without going through all this. Or another thing you could do is check your answer. This should be 3 to 1, right? Okay, go ahead and let's go and get started on this one. Oh, well, wait, no, this one we actually have to do some other calculating here. Okay. This one is a little bit tricky in that they don't give us the ratio. They just tell us what the monthly sales were. What is the ratio of standard units sold to deluxe units sold? And again, you can just put it in chat if you want.
Six.
Yeah. Yeah, this would be 6 to 1. But you could also, honestly, you could put that in as the ratio itself, and you'll get the same answer. Okay. So the ratio 6 to 1. Now, quite honestly, though, if you get really large numbers, but you could actually put 18,000 and 3,000 in there. That rate, 18,000 to 3,000 is the same ratio as 6 to 1. So you could actually plug that. You get really large numbers here, but yeah, you could actually do that. Total fixed cost is what, 300,000. Okay, so see if you get started on that one. Again, the big thing is getting this ratio. Getting the ratio is kind of the pain. And again, the problem is here we have these fixed costs, and this is things like rent. It could be janitor's salary. It could be insurance. And the question is, how much of it goes to standard and how much goes to deluxe? That's the problem. These are the problem. And we can't do the break even without knowing the fixed costs, and we don't know how much to give to standard deluxe. So see if you can figure that one out based on what we did on the other one. Sorry about this. Okay. I've never actually had the internet go out, I don't think, when I had a class before. Maybe I did. Something new. Okay, so let's see, standard. Ah. Okay, so we're going to make a profit of 15 on the standard for each one. So this is the contribution margin in bookie terms. They would call this the CM, contribution margin. We don't need that. The profit. How much profit are you making on each one? 15 on the standard, 30 on the deluxe. We're selling 6 standard for each deluxe. You could also leave it at 18,000 and 3,000. This would become a really large number, though. 6 times 15, 90. And 30 times 1 is 30. So the total is 120. And so that's what we're going to use to split up these fixed costs. Okay, so this profit ratio, 90 of the 120 is for standard. It's gonna be a funny number, I think. 300,000. It's not so funny. 225. And truthfully, right there, you would know. Of the 300,000, if 225 goes to standard, the rest of them must go to deluxe. But I'm going to go ahead and do the calculations anyways. Wow. Okay, 30,000. Should be $30. Yep, 75,000. And so at this point, now we're super happy. Because now we know how much of this 300,000 goes to each one. And at this point, it's just a regular old break even for these two. This is just a break even like we did before. Move it down here just to confuse people, I guess. Okay, so taking the standard first. And the fixed cost for the standard is the 225. Minus 225 plus 225 equals 0. Okay. All right, 15x equals 225. $15,000. So So 15,000, and we're selling each of those for $70 each. Selling price. $1,050,000. Read that out. Now, we know it's 6-1. Could just divide this by 6, and that would give us our deluxe. We'll go ahead and work it out, but you could do it that way. So 5,000 divided by 30. 500. And yeah, that would be 1/3 of those, or 1/6 of those. Each one of those are selling for 120. $300,000. It just hit me. That's an unhappy coincidence. This 300,000 is not the same as the fixed cost 300,000. This could be anything. An unhappy coincidence. You question that thing? it's kind of a pain. Once you break up between the variable and fixed cost, it's not so bad. And quite honestly, once you do the first one, the standard, you could actually answer both of the questions and just do one of these if you wanted to. I would encourage you to do both of them, just in case you make a mistake in one of them, you catch it if you do both of them. You really could just if you do the first one and you're pretty confident in your numbers, yeah. Oh, I never told you why I like this one better than the other ones. The method here. It's because of the so there's a couple different ways you could do this. A few different ways. You can solve the two problems simultaneously. That's one way of doing it. Another way to do it is actually you could use the simplex method. There's another way to do it. The optimizations with the tables and pivots and all that kind of stuff. You could do it that way too. The problem is that when you do what ifs with these break evens, using the other methods, if you don't have a number for the fixed cost, it's very difficult to know what the total impact is going to be. For instance, if you were doing a what if we sold an extra 3,000 standard units? What would it look like? If you were to take that and reshuffle it into the equation and say, okay, well, let's see, that means that we would sell 10% more of the standard than the deluxe, and now it's going to shuffle it all around, and you're going to get some wacky kind of number. That it's hard to tell what's going to happen with it. But if you have a fixed amount for the fixed income, scratch that, fixed cost. If you have a fixed amount for the fixed cost, and you do it, you can say, okay, it's going to add this many dollars to our overall income, or whatever's going to add it. It isolates it so that you can actually make improvements. A lot of times you'll have people selling one line and people selling another line. If you're a manager, you're probably managing one of the lines and you're making improvements on your line. Not that you don't care about the other line, but if you're probably more familiar with your line to make improvements on it and whatever, and you can tell what's going to happen if you do it this way, because you actually get a solid fixed cost. This is your fixed cost, and we can work. Whereas the other methods, it goes into the formula, it all gets reshuffled. Now we're selling 7-to-1 instead of 6-to-1, and it'll change everything as far as the allocations are concerned. Whereas this method gives you one that you can actually. Okay, so let's see here. We need to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to do the practice exam. Nope, not that. Yes, this. So we'll say be back at 3:07, and hopefully the internet will still be up. I sent out the practice exam in the email. It's also in Blackboard. Okay, so this is going to be what you're going to get on your exam. Basically, it's 4 problems similar to what you have in the handout. Okay, so this first one is the easiest one, but it's also the one that people miss the most. And I think people miss it because it is easy. um, yeah, things that are easy, you tend to forget them. But what people end up doing is doing the break even, where this is not a break even. Um, they're telling us how many our units were sold. So we're going to do our income statement. Okay. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and pull the whole thing so we can see it. Okay, income statement. We have our sales, money coming in. We are selling these for $50 each. And we know how many units there are. There are 5,000 units or so are sold. $5,000 times 50. 250,000. I should have known that. So this is money coming in. Money going out, we have our variable costs. And the variable costs are right down below here. $37 times 5,000 units. Oops. That is $185,000. Minus our fixed costs. Which were 40,000. And this will give us our income. And make sure you label it income. All right. What is that? $25,000. It's 25,000. Okay, so this will be the first one is basically here's how many we sold and figure out what the income would be. And again, we're not trying to find the break even here. We already know how many units we have. Break even means you don't know how many units you're going to need. But in this case, they tell us we sold 5,000 units. So what would our income be? Okay, question on that? This one, next one is a simple break even, I think. Yeah. I am going to make sure I go through and do the spacing of these better. Okay. Simple break even. We did a million kabillion times. Oops. Okay. Again, we've done this one many times. $90 minus 75x is what, 15x? Equal 120,000. And again, I'm just getting these closer together. Divide both sides by 15. So we come up with x equals 120,000 divided by 15. 8,000. In the sales in dollars, each unit we're selling for $90. So 120,000. Question on that one? Okay, so those two will take you about 5 minutes each. Now for the ugly ones. Here's the ones that we came for. These are the ones that are not quite as fun as you might think. Okay. So we're going to take the target income after. Something weird going on with the spacing here. Sorry about this. Bugging me. Aha. There was something funny going on with the spacing there. Okay. So what we got? So this is our income after taxes that we want. And we got to get the income before taxes to fit into our equation. I'm going to do it up here. Okay, so let's put the formula up here. Income, oops. Income after taxes divided by 100% minus the tax rate equals our income before taxes. So this is the formula that we use, and we're using this to get this. This is what we need to plug into our equation. Okay. So let's see what this looks like. Our income after taxes is 180,000. We're going to divide that by 100% minus our tax rate of 25%. Okay. So this equals 180,000 divided by 100% minus 25% is 75%. And so that equals, let's spread it out a little. I'm going to change the 75 into a decimal, so this will be just 0.75. If you got a nice calculator, your phone probably can do it too. Okay, so this will give us our before tax income. 180,000 divided by 0.75. 240,000. Oops. Okay, so this is what we're going to put into our equation. So this, a long ways away here, but this, so this is their before tax income. And so that's what we're gonna plug into our equation. So this, at this point, it's just like we did a bunch of times before, 42x minus 30x minus 600,000. Our desired income is not lined up. Our desired income is the 240,000. And now we're just going to solve it for x. Minus 600,000 plus 600,000 gives us 0. $42x minus 30x is 12x. 600,000 drops out. 840,000. Once you get the before tax income, it kind of, this is not too bad. Divide this size by 12. Oops. $70,000. 70,000 times 42 equals some wacky number. 2,940,000. And again, this is the problem with this one. This is, once you get that last number, the income before taxes, this is the same thing we did before. Okay, and we have the last problem. Chapter 3, yay! This is the one we've been waiting for. And it's the worst one. We got to split up the fixed costs. How much profit are we making on each standard? We're making 10 buckaroos. We're making on each deluxe. Wait a minute. Each deluxe, we're making 95 minus 65 equals 30. The ratio of 5 to 1. And that's just from here. Hey, what's going on here? Okay, here we go. And you have to be given the ratio somehow. I think on the test, I just give it to you this way. Okay, so the profit, and again, the profit same thing as contribution margin if you look in your book. So this is going to be our ratio. So split up to 400,000. Okay. So 400,000 times, of the 80, 50 comes from the standard. So this will be 50 divided by 80. Do the math and then I'll clean this up. $250. Okay, so this is so of the 400,000, 250 is going to go to the standard, and That comes from here. And at this point, you can say, okay, 250 goes to standard. You can just, the rest of it goes to the deluxe. But I'm going to go ahead and do the calculations for the deluxe just to kind of show you how to waste time. No, that's not what I meant to say. All right, let me just check that, make sure that's right. 400 times 30. Yep. Okay, so now we can plug these numbers into our fixed costs up here, and we can actually find the break-evens for them. The fixed cost for the standard is the 250. And the break even for the fixed cost for the deluxe are 150. Part of my continuing Keep It Lazy campaign. Copy that down. Uh-oh. Keep It Lazy campaign. Okay, so 40, 30. No, too much. 10. And the fixed costs are 250. Break even, it is 0. And I did something wrong here. How can that be? Okay. I think it's 25,000. And again, this is a reason for doing all that stuff earlier was this. To get that fixed cost for the standard. We also do it for the deluxe. Now, truthfully, for the deluxe, I mean, we sell 5 to 1. You can just take this, divide by 5, and that would give you the deluxe. So I'm going to do the math on it. But okay. The deluxe was 95 and 65. $30. And the fixed costs were $150. And that should come out to 5,000, I think. Let me check just to make sure. Yep, 5,000 units. Hey, I didn't plug these in anywhere. Am I missing something? Did I not put that on there? What moron made this handout? All right. Well, did I completely miss that on there? I must have. I surely did. All right. Well, I'll just put it right on here. I'll, on the test, I'll put a place for your answers. We'll just put it in here. Hey, we're all friends. Okay, so it would be 25,000 units, and for dollar sales, we would multiply that by $40. 25,000 times 40. $1 million. All right, so this will be the break even in units and the break evens in dollars. And we'll do the same thing down here. Times 95. $475,000. All right. Well, that wasn't the ideal way to show those, but so that would be the break even for the standard, and this would be the break even for the deluxe. And I will put places for you to put those answers in on the test. Any questions? All right. Well, so we're going to have I got to put a drop in for the exam. I'll send out you'll get the exam by later on tonight. And but we can put in the practice exam, we can put in the handout. We did the textbook last week. So I'll be sending this out later on, let's say by 7, I should have this one out. I want to go through and make sure that it's better than our practice test. So I'll email that out, say around 7-ish tonight. But you'll have whatever it is, 10 days, 9 days. I don't know. You'll have plenty of time to do it. Okay. Any questions? Okay. I apologize for the internet going out. I don't think I've had that happen before. We started doing the filming about 2020. I don't think I've lost the internet during a class. I've lost internet during a class before. Okay, well, apologies for that. And this recording will be up shortly. It's not going to have the first part on it. It will have it'll have basically from number 7 though on. Will be on there. So, any questions? And I'll be sending out that the exam shortly. Okay. Well, have a good day, and I will see you guys in a week.
Thank you, Professor.